Hello Curlies, it's Mary. So this video is going to be on my 3-strand twist out, which kind of sort of was a fail, but which then became this slicked back curly crown hairstyle. So if you'd like to see how I achieved this look, then stay tuned for the rest of the video. So first of all, I'm starting out on old hair and I am just spraying it with water just to make it a little bit more malleable and easier to work with. And then I just started to section off my hair into sections and finger detangle and then detangle with a comb. So as you know, I've been trying out the Andre Walker Hair Gold System products. So for this style I decided to use the Beautiful Curls styling cream just because it adds a really nice amount of slip and also leaves my hair with lovely definition. So from here I moved on to doing the 3-strand twist in my hair. Now this is not a 3-strand twist tutorial because this was my first ever time doing 3-strand twists in my hair. So I was basically practicing here. Although, to be honest, I feel like it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. But when I have perfected the method, then I will make sure to do a tutorial for you. So stay tuned for that. But what I did do was when I got towards the ends of my hair, I just made sure that they were as well detangled as possible. And then I just continued to twist down as far as I possibly could. And then created a curl just by twirling the ends of my hair around my fingers. And then one twist was complete. So essentially this process was repeated all around my head. The interesting thing about 3-strand twists I've noticed is that you don't need to do as many of them around your head as if you were doing 2-strand twists, just because they require more hair to do one twist, if that makes any sense. But yes, it was fun. So after having completed all the twists, I ended up with 6 at the front of my head, and then for the back section there were 3 in the upper row and then 2 at the very back of my head. So then I moved on to using the Quenched Essential Oil. I just used quite a few pumps of this just to make sure I went over all of my twists, just to seal in the moisture and also to add some shine to the final style. So now going on to the takedown process, I noticed that the 3-strand twists were very easy to take down. And of course, because they're larger than say 2-strand twists, it means that there's less of them to take down. And they just separated really easily. And I also noticed that my hair definition was definitely on 10. I was really pleased with the definition results. However, I did notice that because the twists are larger, some of them appeared to be quite dry on the outside, but once I undid each of the twists, I realized that the insides were still quite wet. So unfortunately, when I started to separate the parts of my twists, my hair then became pretty frizzy and just not as uniform as I really wanted it to be. But I did find a solution. First of all, I created a side part on the left hand side of my head and I just loosely tied my hair back. Then I sprayed my hair with water and I took some hair gel and just began to smooth down the front of my hair. So I started off with my hands and then I moved on to smoothing down with a ball bristle brush. Next I moved on to using my wonderful stretchy hairband, which I will leave a link to in the iCards on the top right of the screen. I tied this fairly tightly at the back of my head, and then I just began to slide the hairband back on my head, and then I just continued to make sure that my front hairline was smooth, and I used my ball bristle brush just to help to create some very subtle swoops at the front of my hair, just because I knew that this would add to the finished look. So next I took this piece of material. It's actually cut from some old leggings, but it's a really good material just for helping to slick down your hair, and I just left it on for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I removed it to leave just a really beautifully slick hairline with the back of my hair out. Now I could have left it just like this if I so chose to. I think it makes a lovely style. However, I wasn't so happy about the fact that the side of my hair was a bit frizzed out on the left hand side, as you can see. So I just decided to create a bit more of a uniform look to the rest of my hair just by tucking the ends into the back. So I feel like it creates just a bit more of a rounder silhouette to the back of my hair, which also creates a really interesting contrast with the very slick down front of my hair. So essentially this was the finished look. So this is just an encouragement. If you try a style or a new style and it just doesn't quite work, don't give up, just persevere, see if you can make a new style out of it, and just enjoy it the best that you can. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, then please feel free to give me a thumbs up below. You can also hit the red subscribe button for more videos like these. I upload videos every single weekend. And as always, wishing you health, happiness, and of course, beautiful hair. Take care and see you soon on the next video. Bye.